Hey guys, it's Amanda. I'm back. Today is Tuesday, July 25th, 2017, and I wanted to talk about a topic that I think that children, especially teenagers, should really understand these days. And the topic that I want to discuss is how to maintain a healthy relationship with your parents. And maintaining a healthy relationship with your parents, it can be really challenging, but it's also very, very rewarding at the same time. And I say it's challenging just because parents, of course, like they didn't grow up in the same generation as we did. They kind of grew up in like a more conservative, traditional type of environment, whereas children, of course, they grew up in a generation where they had, like, of course, phones, like, different types of music, certain types of clothing and all that. So, I mean, it can kind of create a strain in a relationship just because children and parents, like, they kind of lived in different generations. And the first thing I want to say in maintaining a healthy relationship is to find it easy to talk to your mom and dad. And of course, like, your mom and your dad love you, they obviously care about you. So don't ever feel reluctant to speak to your parents if you have a problem with anything. And sometimes that can be hard, like when you're going and talking to your parents, they may feel like they may come off short with you. They may feel like you're disrespecting them, which is, not really always the case. Sometimes children might feel comfortable talking to their parents because they have a problem with something. And of course, they want their parents, their loved ones, to help them out. So, I mean, don't be afraid to go to your parents if you have any issue with anything, because that really always helps. It really does help a lot. And the second tip is to keep your sense of humor. Continue to, still be yourself. Parents feel comfortable when their child or their children are being themselves around them. Maintain a good laugh between them, because, I mean, you only live once. I mean, just, cherish the time that you spend with your parents, even though parents may seem like annoying and all, annoying sometimes, but I mean, still, like, just, you know live it up with your parents. Just, maintain a just maintain a good time with them. Just have a good time with them. Crack jokes. Just, I mean, I'm not saying like get wild with your parents, but I mean, you definitely want to enjoy other people's company. That's, a really good way to, maintain a healthy relationship with your parents. And another tip also is to try to accommodate each other. Like, try to understand, what they don't like. Like, if you're doing a certain thing that they don't like, then I think it's probably best to, value that thing and, just accept it for what they're doing. And vice versa with the child. Like, it's important for parents to also accommodate their child too. Like, if you know your child very well, like, if you know what their personality is like, if you know that they don't like, a certain thing, then it's really best to understand them and then know not to do, I guess, certain things around them. Like, let's say if there's a one parent that's more outgoing, and let's say that if there's a child that is more reserved, you obviously study that person really well and understand, okay, is there, maybe this is not an activity that they don't want to do because they may not feel comfortable Because I mean, you never want to put their child, because you never want to like put your child in any uncomfortable position, because when you do that, I mean, that just causes tension in the relationship. So you really just want to make sure that you understand your wants with your child. You really just want to understand that what the child desires to do. And another thing is to just don't be that child that is just that just complains a lot. You know, parents don't like children who complain so much. Like, just pick and choose your battles. You know, not everything is worth fighting for. Some things that you can just learn to let go. And of course, yeah, parents can be mean sometimes. Like whenever they correct their child, they may come off harsh though. Like, especially with Nigerian parents, like they'll be like, "You're very stupid. You're a foolish boy. You're a foolish girl," etc., etc. Like, I mean, honestly, that's really just Nigerian culture. I mean, of course, I had to live with it, so I mean, yeah, it's pretty mean, but I mean, at the end, like, it makes you stronger. Like, even if your parents feel like, even if children feel like parents are being harsh with their children, they may feel like they're kind of being mean and pushy and just, you know, trying to belittle them. That's really never ever the case. They really just want the best for their child, like I said before. And even if they are being harsh, once again, it makes them stronger. It actually makes them better. And sometimes children may be upset over it. So, you know, if your parent corrects you like in a harsh way, just know that it's never to harm them, but it's just because they want the best for them. So, and as for the children, like, you know, you should respect what they say. Like, if they tell you to do something, do it. Even if you feel like it doesn't make sense, just do it, because the Bible says, honor your father and your mother, and you shall live your days longer. And that is like probably one of my favorite verses, which basically that means that if you respect your parents, and if you honor and respect your parents always, then it shall be well with you. If you don't, then you may end up going down a very bad path, which is not a path that you want to go through, especially if you're a Christian. So, with that being said, just children, respect your parents. And also with parents, like, they should respect their children too. Like, it's not, I mean, tough love is not always, you know, is not always the way to go. I mean, sometimes, you know, parents can be a little bit softer and be like, okay, Jimmy, please don't do this. Like, you don't have to be like, oh, Jimmy, you're very stupid and you're very foolish. Like, it doesn't always have to be like that. So, I mean, just communication is key. So you have to learn how to communicate effectively if you want to have a healthy relationship. I mean, you have to communicate effectively, because if you don't, it's just going to cause a strain in the relationship. It's going to cause a lot of tension, and then the parent will have resentment towards the child, and then the child will have resentment towards the parent. And I mean, it's just not something that you want to go through. It's just really something that causes a lot of stress. So, I mean, yeah, basically, just to wrap this all up, I mean, just, you know, have respect to be honorable to your just be honorable to your parents, you know, cherish the time you can, you know, laugh, crack jokes, you know, find one-on-one time to like do something that y'all love together. And also like try to like find what y'all have in common, because when you find things that you have in common with your parents, I mean, that can really create a special bond. Like with me, like I'm very close with my mom, because like, you know, I talk to my mom a lot about everything. You know, we both like to we both like music. You know, she grew up, you know, she liked music growing up, and I kind of like music too. So, I mean, that's something. And I'm also close with my younger brother too, because I mean, we're both kind of silly. And I mean, I would say that we have some similarities too, but in a way, like, we're also different. And even though, like, we may argue sometimes, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like we know that we love each other. We know that deep down we we care for each other. We know that we there for each other. You know, we know that we definitely have that sibling support. So I mean, yeah. So thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.